Good afternoon. I hope you're well. This really, Robin, is just a walkthrough video which will explain your document, which I'll have sent to you in an email. So check your junk folder as well. Um, so I'll just run you through everything. You can start this week, you can start next week, whenever you want. It's entirely up to you. But yeah, I was off today, so you got me at a good time. Um, so it didn't take too long to put together. So whenever you click into this, it'll bring you up these tabs across the bottom. So this is your dashboard, just basic, just your, I hope I've got your age right. I know you're at least 40, and I think you've had a birthday since then. So according to my calculations, you are 41, but you can change that if needs be. If you can pop your height in there for me and starting weight. Obviously we're not looking to lose body fat here, but we are in a sense we're looking to tone and tighten up. But it would be a good idea just to monitor that going forward. We might see changes on the scales, we might not, but really what we'll be looking at in closer detail will be pictures. So if you can get physique pictures over to me this week, so front, rear, and both sides. Try and get head to toe in the pictures against a plain background if possible, and in as minimal clothing as you feel comfortable in. And so it could be bra top and shorts, pants and bra top, whatever. If you're wearing a top or trousers, just make sure leggings um aren't too patterned or dark or anything, and a tight top. So more flesh I can see, the better. Please and thank you. Just a little disclaimer down there. So if you die whilst training, it's not my fault. That is a joke. Nobody's died yet. Come close to it right enough. So next tab, if it'll let me click in, is nutrition. So obviously we don't have any set calories, we don't have any set protein. I would like you to aim to get at least 3 litres of water in daily. Not tracking fibre, but sleep is something that is person dependent, but sleep quality is more important than sleep duration, and that's where caffeine comes in. So caffeine obviously is a stimulant and has a half-life of approximately 6 hours. So if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock, for example, and you're having a coffee at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's still going to be in your system, very much so, whenever you go to bed. Now, you might not have a problem getting over to sleep, but your sleep quality will be a lot worse. So I would advise that you do have a cut-off point with caffeine in and around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Anything thereafter, caffeine free, go for it. Some people just like the taste of coffee, and decaf is pretty decent, but it's just something to be aware of. Sleep is important. That's when we recover and that's when we grow. So sleep quality is so important. And you probably will hear me bang on about it 1,000 more times to come. So some non-negotiables here when it does come to eating. I know you're pretty good with your eating and you eat a lot of healthful foods as well, but trying to eat frequently, so not allowing yourself to get too hungry in between meals. So, having a a meal schedule as such, rather than eating sporadically. So have your breakfast at a particular time, your lunch at a particular time. Obviously, this is going to depend on work and stuff as well, but just doing your best on any given day to do so. So having a source of protein with each meal as well, where possible. Now, ideally, we want to be getting, at least 2 to 3 servings of protein throughout the day. Protein, when it comes to building muscle, is extremely, extremely important. Well, regardless of your goal, it's extremely important. So we do want to make sure, obviously I know you are vegan, but there are plenty of other protein sources, but I don't want you to rely on getting it from, like a whey isolate or something, for example. Yes, it is definitely a great supplement and a great addition, especially for convenience. But obviously you look after yourself anyway. Ensure you eat foods that you enjoy and that sit well with you in terms of digestion. Digestion is one of the things that we will be looking at as well, including fruit and or veg with each meal. So ideally we want to get veg in, some sort of veg in with each meal. You can have fruit on the side, snacking on fruit and stuff as well. And variety is definitely the spice of life, packed full of nutrients, not to mention fiber, which will promote gut health as well. Um, Sitting down to eat meals away from distractions, taking your time when eating and chew thoroughly. In this day and age, we're just so used to being on the go all the time that we will eat standing up or we'll eat on the go, or we'll eat whilst looking at our phones, and not really enjoying or savouring the meals that we are eating. And again, from a digestive point of view, it is extremely important, just to sit down and take your time with meals. Will really help with any GI distress and stuff as well. And prioritizing meals over snacking. Nothing wrong with snacking, but prioritizing your meals. You'll find a lot of people do just graze mindlessly throughout the day rather than actually having meals, because maybe it's more convenient for them, but it is not the way forward. Snacking's great for kids, not so much for us as adults, but that's not to say you can't snack. Snacking, really look at it as, if you've got say you're not getting your dinner for another 4 hours, um, when you're starving, snacking, that's when you snack, just to tide yourself over until that next mealtime. Before I go into training, we'll have a look at cardio and expenditure. So 1 to 2 days over the week, and that can be anything. So obviously I know you love your spin, so 1 to 2, and just keeping your step count at a decent level, between 8 and 10k weekly average. Supplements here, and I don't feel the need to take any of these, but if somebody was to say to me, right, list your top 4 supplements, then these are what I would recommend. So if you aren't taking these, I would definitely recommend you do. But again, it's another expense, so don't feel that you have to. If we're getting good quality food, lots of nutrient dense food, then these do just act as a supplement. It's to supplement a good diet. You can't, if you were to eat a shit diet and take these, they'd have little to no effect, but they can be beneficial, especially when everything else is in line. We'll come back to your check-in then. So training will go to, so twice a week minimum. I have given you 3 full body sessions here with more, not more of it, it's quite evenly spread. Now I know you said that you did have an issue with your midsection. Now, really, when it comes down, exercise definitely will help. Compound movements such as barbell, dumbbell or barbell RDL, things like that, where encourage you, any type of squat and stuff will encourage you to brace and use your core as well. So these definitely will help. I haven't given any core exercises as such because honestly I don't really believe in them. I think they're beneficial when you're ripped and shredded and can make your abs pop, but you'll find the majority of core strength will come through compound lifts, which we do have programmed. And another factor will obviously be body fat levels. Yes, everybody's got their stubborn area, and unfortunately when we're on the wrong side of 40, it where your body distributes its fat, it can, it tends to gather more in the midsection in women, which is unfortunate. But it's not to say we can't improve it, because we certainly can. So 3 full body sessions. So what I would suggest is you just rotate these. So do full body 1, full body 2 in 1 week, and then week 2 you could do full body 3 and then full body 1. Just keep rotating them. So first one, let me just make this a little bit smaller. So start with a hamstring curl, just a nice little warm up for the hamstrings before you go into either a dumbbell or barbell RDL. It's entirely up to you. It's person dependent as well. An RDL is an RDL at the end of the day. If you feel more comfortable using dumbbells because there's a slight change in angle, then go for it. If you prefer to use the barbell, go for it. Whichever one you choose, I would run with for the duration. So you do have exercise order. If you can do these in order, fantastic. If, for example, somebody is using the dumbbells that you need or using the barbell, move on to the next exercise and then go back to it. You've got a number of sets here, so 3 total sets and between 10 and 15 reps. So rep range is just a guide. You'll obviously want to go in the first week and find your baseline numbers for these. So where you want to be comfortably hitting 10 reps at a given weight. When you are comfortably exceeding 15 reps at a given weight, that's when you can bump it up a little bit. So let's say, progressive overload, that's what we're going to be looking for each week. Maybe not in the first couple of weeks, we just want to find our feet with this. But it is definitely worth logging your sessions, number of reps per set and weight lifted. So let's say, for example, you got 20 kilos, you've done 20 kilos in a hamstring curl for 10 reps, and that was your max. You couldn't push out anymore. Next week, when you go in, you'll want to aim for 11. At the very, very minimum, you want to maintain your previous performance. Now, that's not always going to be possible, but that's something that we'll get into further down the line. But you do want to go into each session with the aim to progress in some shape or form. It might not be every exercise, it might not be every single set, but you'll want to aim for progression. And progression comes in many different forms as well. Yes, it is getting stronger and being able to get more reps at a given weight, but it's also refining the form and execution of an exercise, which is the single most important thing when it comes to training. There's no point in you trying to shift a load that looks like absolute dog shit, because it's going to do nothing for you. You want to make sure you're comfortable and confident with a given exercise before you start driving the weight up. So you've got a teaching point there for each exercise, and if you click into these, you've got a demo video as well. But a lot of this you will have done before. Now, we've done hamstring curls, we've done RDLs. In here, you can either do a Smith machine hip thrust or a free barbell hip thrust. Again, whichever one, play about with both of them, whichever one you prefer, run with it for duration. Leg press, little bit of chest pressing, face pulls, side raises, and so on. Then you can take a wee look through those other sessions as well. Just let me know if you have any questions off the back of that. Where I've programmed here, for example, 1/1. So that's one set at 6 to 8 reps. So typically that would be your heavier set. You'll maybe want to do a few warm-up sets to gauge what your heavy set is going to be. But if you're getting a comfortable 6 reps, if you're exceeding 8, then you could probably go a little bit heavier. Your other set here will be what's called a back off set. So it'll be lighter and it'll be higher reps. So let's say your heavy set is a barbell RDL of 50 kilos and you're getting 6-7 reps. Fantastic. You'll maybe want to drop that down to 30 kilos, for example, to be able to hit that minimum of 10. Here, for example, we've got 2/1, so it'll be 2 heavier sets between 8 and 12 reps, and then a back off set between 15 and 20. So that's your training explained. On to your check-ins. So check-ins are done every Monday evening. So all you have to do is fill this out end of day. Try and just get into the habit of doing it at the end of every day, because I've got some clients who will leave it till a Monday and I'm like, how the fuck do you even remember all this information when you're trying to input it? So date, weight, just weigh yourself 2-3 times a week and I'll take a weekly average. Nutrition, so how nutrition's been for that day. You've got drop-down lists for all these. We'll look at recovery, energy levels, stress levels, if you have any illness or injury. On to energy expenditure then, so your training type. So that'll be full body 1, 2, or 3. Motivation to train, cardio performed, so that'll either be your spin or other. Cardio duration and step count for that day. You can round that up to the nearest 100 if you want. Nutrition then, so where your appetite's at. Is it high, average, or low? Water intake for the day, so average litres. Frequency of bowel movements, so number of times you've been for number 2, and quality of that stool. Now, I'm not fucking nosy. It is just really to tell me how your digestive system is working. Any GI distress, any gas bloating, which may be caused by something here, or it could be caused by your menstrual cycle. So if you're tracking your period on the Flow app, if you're not, I recommend it. Let me know where you're at, because this can tell me lots of different things as well. And then caffeine intake for the day, it could be 2 coffees, cut off point 1 p.m, things like that. And then at the end of every week, you will just pop in a weekly summary, and obviously most of yours will be in regards to training. So how training's been that week, how it's feeling, any issues, any niggles, things like that, anything you're unsure of, any problems, but include as much info on your week as possible, and then you leave the rest to me. So I think that is it in a nutshell. Like I say, let me know when you want to get going these first couple of weeks, especially in regards to training. Just take your time, find your feet with it, get comfortable with exercises. We'll make sure everything's okay and nothing needs changed, and we shall go from there. But looking forward to have you on board, and get pictures over ASAP, please, and thank you. Lots of love.